Shalom, shalom. First and foremost, Kahalayim La Yahweh, Bahashem Yahushai, Bahashem, Rakak Wadash, double honors to the Apostle Great Millstone, and peace and mercy to the elect. Alright. And as the scriptures say, a wise man doth scarcely smile a little. You know, a wise man is really a man of few words. And that could have easily been the title of the video, you know. But that's taken from the book of Sirach, the 21st chapter. Right. And the 20th verse, you know, Sirach 21:20. Because what you're gonna come to find out is that, you know, what's been sold as a man in this society is not, you know, there's not really, you know, it's not really truly manhood, you know. The way that they taught you in this society is basically to be a big ass goofy, you know, and be a dancing monkey for the woman. Okay, now it's great to have, you know, smile and stuff like that. That's a good emotion to have, joy, you know. Scripture speak about joy, but there's a balance to everything that we do. As the scripture say, false balance, Proverbs the 11th chapter. A false balance is an abomination to Yahweh by Shem Shai. So, as us men in this faith, men of the Lord willing of the elect, you know, we ought to carry ourselves with a distinct spirit concerning, you know, the people of this world. You know, I myself, I've always been, you know, separate from the world, really. Even when I was in the world, I never really fit in, or whatever the case may be. I'm sure you brothers could relate. Anyways, the point being that when Yahushua was on the scene, he wasn't always, you know, super happy. You know, he wasn't always like in a great mood. Why? Because of the condition that we're in, and the hell that we catch, and the demons try to mess with you, and all that. So you got to deal with all that. But you know, that's why the scripture say, "He that ruleth for spirit is better than he that taketh the city." You know, so we have to be patient. You know, the Lord said, "In your patience possessing your soul." So, as you read Luke 19:21, the scripture said the Lord was an austere man. So part of being at war is being austere. You're not going to be at war, you know, joking around with your enemies and shit like that. You're not going to get the best performance, man, out of yourself. Your mind, your spirit won't allow you to be, either you're going to be in one state of mind or another. You know what I'm saying? You can't be chopping people's heads off with a smile on your face. You know, that's what Esau does. He's a psychopath, you know. In war, you can't be, you know, fighting over there with a smile on your face and shit. Like, that's not going to happen. You know, when you watch people, like, you know, compete NBA, you know, in the NBA final. Right now, the Western Conference Finals is on and all that shit, right? The Lakers down 0-3 and the Bucks down 0-3. But when you watch these games, right, when you watch high level competition, the players or whatever, they're at war with each other, man. And you know, for the most part, they're not, you know, sitting there smiling the whole game. You know, they got their game face on, if you will. So yeah, man, we ought to be in that mind frame, be locked in, you know, like like this guy, Playoff Jimmy. You know, Jake is going crazy over Playoff Jimmy, man. You know, oh, they're calling him Himmy and all this different shit, you know, because he's doing good or whatever. They're saying he's Michael Jordan's bastard son and shit, which, you know, could be. Well, we don't know. But the point of the matter is that, you know, you see the intensity and you know, you see the determination and the drive. And that's on a carnal tip, you know what I mean? Sports or whatever. But I'm just using it as an example, man. All right, I'm just using it as an example. Okay, because us in this truth, we have to be locked in the spirit of Yahweh by Shem Shai. We have to be locked in on what's important, you know. We're not supposed to be, you know, in that spirit of folly and you know, the spirit of the scripture say the wise is in the house of mourning, but you know, the foolish is what? And they're in the house of mirth. The fools are in the house of mirth. Okay? Because we're not in a time of mirth right now, you know? Even though, yes, the Lord put the spirit on us to be happy, and understand things, you know. And our spirits are happy that we know the truth, this and that, okay, but we still got work to do, you know. We're not here to throw parties every weekend and, you know, be living it up and dancing and shucking and jiving and shit. We have to have an austere spirit about us, the spirit of a stoic. You know, as we well know, the Epicurean, he's given to pleasure and all that. You know, he's given to pleasure. He loves to indulge in his baser instincts. Okay, with no self-control. But an Epicurean is like that. But a stoic, he's focused. He's laser focused, man. That's one of the characteristics of being a stoic. He's focused on one goal. And the scriptures speak about your eye being single. You know, your eye being single for the kingdom of heaven's sake. You know, because there's a lot of distractions in this world, man. If you don't have the spirit of the Lord and you're not strongly rooted in the truth, because the scriptures describe men as trees. So if you're not fertile, you know, because the things of this world and all that shit, right? It becomes more important than the truth. You forget your first love. You forget the things that are important. Maybe a woman. You know, look at King Solomon, for instance. King Solomon was more greater in knowledge and wisdom than any other king, right? But he was on such a level, the Lord was dealing with him. But he still fell victim to the woman. So that should be a warning onto you, because right now you're not on a higher level than Solomon was. You know, so you could fall. You know, you could fall too. You could fall victim to that kind of shit if you're not careful. If you get weak, because you can sit there and say, "Nah, it wouldn't be me," but you know, the right woman come along, put it on you. You know, you can start getting weak. The Lord put a little hell on you. He start testing you, and then, you know, many have fallen by that shit, man. So just beware of that. Just beware of all that, and just know what you're involved in. Because when you come to serve the Lord, the scripture say, prepare thy soul for temptation, and constantly endure. We're now brought to a low state. In Sirach 2. So, anyways, let's go here. It's the book of Sirach 21, and verse 16. It says, "The talking of a fool is like the burden in the way, but grace shall be found in the lips of the wise." So, grace, mercy, you know, knowledge, understanding, wisdom. Those things shall be found in the lips of the wise, and they're gonna continue to push forth wise sentences. You know, continue to push forth the words of the Lord and establish righteousness, you know, and judgment in the gate, and that's what they're going to be. The scripture says you know a tree by its fruit. The fruit is what you're bearing and you've given to, you know, to the people. And eventually, you know, when you teach this word, others hear it and they follow suit. You know, others being the members of the elect, the brothers. You know, and a few women that take heed, like, you know, men that I've taught in the truth. Some of them have fallen by the wayside. Some continue in the faith. You know, you might get with a woman. You might teach her the truth. You know, that she's part of your fruit, man. Even though, you know, she's not gonna teach the word or anything like that. But you're helping to seal the elect, because there are women that are of the elect. You know, so you have that. Okay, you have women that are part of the 1/3. Okay, so you might tell them that there is, or you might show them certain things, and then you might end up dealing with it. Lord might give her to you as a wife. You know. So, anyways, going on, it says, verse 17, Sirach 21 and 17. It says, "They inquire at the mouth of the wise man in the congregation, and they shall ponder his words in their heart." Yeah, because the wise men, they scarcely speak, man. Their words are the Lord's words, and a lot of times, you know, when brothers are out there in the world, like I myself, I don't do much talking until the situation requires it. I'm around people, whatever the case may be, the situation might require me to speak more or less, depending on what's going on at the time, the importance of the matter or whatever. And the Lord might put the spirit on me to speak or to give my 2 cents. Sometimes I don't speak too much, and if people think there's something wrong with me or I'm angry or some shit like that, nah, I'm just being spiritual. Just, there's nothing much to say at the time. So you don't say nothing, man, But really, we don't have much to say to these fucking people anyways in the world. We don't have much to say to them. What the hell are we going to talk about, We could talk about bullshit of the world, but then eventually the conversation going to turn into something spiritual, and then the people is not really going to be able to stick with you because they can't really see what you're talking about. They think you're crazy and you think they're crazy because you can't, y'all are different vibration and wavelength. That's why the Lord said through the Apostle Paul, he said, I become all things unto all men, because he had to condescend. The scripture speak about, I did a video I think like 2 weeks ago, whatever, about condescending to men of low estate. Sometimes you're gonna have to come down to another brother's level. You might have to come down to maybe your nephew or your cousin. Sometimes you gotta deal with people. All right. But anyways, it says Sirach 21:18, as a house is destroyed, so is wisdom. So is wisdom to a fool, and the knowledge of the unwise is as talk without sense. The knowledge of the unwise is as talk with no sense. A lot of the times, like that party and bullshit spirit, that folly and extra, oh, let's have fun, rah. That's temporary for a time, but then you sit there and you ponder things, and you see these people. I used to be at the parties or whatever, and you see them and they're having fun. Sometimes I would join in on the festivities or whatever, but most of the time it'd be in the back chilling, man. Getting with, try to get some pootie tang or whatever, and you look at these people, it's just sort of madness. It's just a bunch of noise, a bunch of foolish talk, a bunch of adultery and sin and wickedness. So, even then, back then, I used to look at it like, this shit is crazy. Something ain't right here, There must be more to life than this. Just getting drunk every weekend, or every day. Feeling like you got to throw up every night, or every time you wake up. My fault. Every time you wake up, you feel like this massive headache. You hungover. You wake up. You gotta do some type of drug to feel right. It's like it's not right for the body, for the mind, for the soul. It's not spiritual. It's not a wise thing to do. But that's our people, and the majority of that's the spirit of our people, to be just loose and just wild and YOLO, just whatever, man, And we've all been there, man. We've all been there, especially living here in Babylon. Okay, but our spirit is supposed to be one of a soldier, man. You know what I mean? A spirit of a king, man, of a prophet. How the Lord Yahushua was conducting himself on the scene. When he was on the scene, all right. When he was here, he was moving a particular way, man. You don't see Yahushua drunk outside at 4 a.m. throwing up on himself and shit, or fighting, like Isaac became IUIC, in some type of little brawl or whatever. Whatever happened, just looking foolish, man. Okay, the Lord was whipping people with, but that was for a reason in the temple. The Lord was, cursing people out, when they went off. That's for the gospel's sake, that's for the truth's sake. Jake just does shit because of their own, stupidity or whatever you may call it, man. It's just like, what the hell? It's like, they want to do their own thing. So the Lord leaves them up to their own device. And that's why, the white man kill you niggas. That's why he shoot you and pull you over and, and violate your ass, because you're you're doing everything that's contrary to the Most High. You're not in the spirit of the Lord in these times. You're not in the solemn assembly, which is the small sanctuary, which is the truth. Okay. You don't have that hedge around you. Be protected. Okay. If you're not repentant, you really don't understand what time we're in and the sacrifice that the Lord made for you. And what's about to come on the earth. If you really knew that, you wouldn't be in the spirit of of just bullshitting. Okay. Because we have a job to do while we're here. Now you can't do that job properly. You can't finish the fight if you're already, drunk at the finish line. Scripture say, "Be ye sober." Okay, there's no problem with drinking. I drink, but Scripture say the Lord drank wine, and we all brothers. Most of us, we indulge in the cocktail or two, beverage or two, alcoholic beverage of your liking, but it is what it is, once in a while. But we ain't alcoholics, man, where we're losing our shit, and so anyways, man, yeah, man, a spiritual man, he deals with wisdom. Okay, apply wisdom, in your life. Anyway, it says, Sirach 21:19, doctrine unto fools as fetters on the feet, and like manacles on the right hand. Yeah, this truth is not profitable for you. You think it's like a prison sentence or some shit. Like, oh, I gotta do this. No, this is for your own good, man. Scripture says, rebuke a wise man, shall love thee. Rebuke a scorner, he shall get thyself a blot. He shall hate thee. Okay, so yeah, man. Okay, a fool, it says, verse 20, Sirach 21:20, a fool lift up his voice with laughter, but a wise man doth scarcely smile a little. A wise man doth scarcely smile a little. A wise man only smiles, a little bit, with balance. Okay. Wise man, really, he deals with balance, man. And he most of the time, he's in a spirit of austerity. He's in a spirit of war. Sometimes, a lot of times, Scripture say in Ecclesiastes 7:7, surely oppression make the wise man mad, and the gift destroyeth the heart. So, oppression make us mad. A lot of times, bro, we ain't in the mood to talk to nobody. A lot of times, these fucking dumbass people and these fucking women, and, these demonic spirits that's around here, they try to piss you off. But at the same time, the Scripture say, let not the sun go down upon your wrath. So, we deal with balance, man. We deal with balance, and we know what time we're in. So, we just let the Lord deal with it. Throw up a curse or whatever. Take it out in the videos on the highways and byways. Use it as fuel, man. But yeah, a righteous man doth scarcely smile, but a little. Okay, they're more so in a serious mindset, in a serious mind frame. Okay, they're more so locked in. Denying the Scripture say, when I became a man, I put away childish things. 1 Corinthians 13. I believe it's right around the 8th verse. It says, when I became a man, I put away childish things, man. Okay. When I was a child, I behaved as a child. I thought as a child. When you see a child, they're very worry free, and they got really nothing to like. They don't know what the real world is. They've never been like around in a situation, right? In too many situations, they haven't lived so much. So they have a saying, right? Ignorance is bliss. Okay, ignorance is bliss. Bliss means that you're in a state of happiness all the time because you don't have anything to worry about, nothing to pay for. You're not really suffering like that. You're young. You're a kid, so you enjoy yourself or whatever. So all the time. That's all a kid. When you look at the children, they're all the time. They're Epicureans. They're given a pleasure. They don't have discipline and like that because they're kids. But when you become a man, you put away those type of feelings. You put your needs come, the Lord's needs come before your needs. You're not selfish. You don't. You're giving with your time and with your spirit, with your energy towards the Lord and towards the truth. You're more so. You're not geared to the things of this world. That's a childish mentality. You don't have the mentality of Big Shirley or Keisha. You don't have that spirit on you. You have the spirit of a man of the Lord. You have the mind of Yahushua, 1 Corinthians 2:16, right? So the Lord, he told us that he would require of us. He told Job, he required, gird up your loins like a man. You can't serve the Lord with a childish, boyish mentality. Okay, you have to grow in the spirit of the Lord and really lock in, man. Really take care of business, because we're about the Father's business, like it says in Luke the 2nd chapter. Okay. And this devil's coming down with great wrath, knowing he has but a short time. Revelation 12:12. So we know what time is coming, man. We know what time we're in. We're not comfortable here. We're not comfortable here. Micah 2:10 said, "Arise ye and depart, for this is not your rest. For it's polluted, will destroy you with a sword of destruction." This place will destroy your fucking mind and your soul and your spirit. Not to mention your body, which is already decaying by the day because of these chemtrails and the food that's contained in this place. That's why most of the people here are larger than they should be. They even included us. But that's because of the environment we grew up in and shit. The diets and shit like that, right? But we're trying to do our best as best we can. But the scripture say we should eat our bread defiled amongst the Gentiles, man. So that's what we're dealing with now. The curses of Deuteronomy 28. Always being our lives being in doubt. Us always going through hell. Us always catching some type of calamity coming our way. Why the scriptures say other men are not in trouble as they're not in trouble as other men. These devils and these heathen, they don't go through half of the shit Jay goes through. Because they're not God's chosen people. They're not the Lord's people. We're the Lord's people. We're the people of Yahweh Shem Asai. So we got to drink of the cup. We have to drink of the cup. We incurred the wrath and indignation of Yahweh Shem Asai. Henceforth that we would have to pay as we had the greater obligation as being the Lord's people on the earth. And us transgressing the covenants. The covenant made with Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, the pact. So the Lord had this sent His Son down here to give us some reprieve, to give us some forgiveness, right? And to give us this opportunity at life with Him dying upon that cross for us. For the sins of the nation of Israel, as it says in Acts 5:31. It said the Lord has exalted His right hand, Yahushua, to be a prince and a savior to His people, and to give them forgiveness of sins, man. And that's a beautiful thing. That's a beautiful thing, man. That's a beautiful thing. So we're grateful and we're thankful for that. So that's why I keep that mindset of a soldier, because the scriptures say that the Lord had called us to be soldiers in this thing, man. Really, the Lord called us to be soldiers, because the Lord said He's a man of war. So we're His men. Okay. That no man that warreth entangle himself with the affairs of this life, that he may please Him who have chosen him to be a soldier. Right? Let me get that. Let me get that real quick. 2 Timothy 2 and verse 3, it says, therefore thou endure hardness as a good soldier of Yahushua HaMashiach, and no man that warreth entangle himself with the affairs of this life, that he may please him who hath chosen him to be a soldier. You see? And that's 2 Timothy 2, 3, and 4. So yeah, man, we're soldiers in this thing, and we're fighting a good fight of faith. And we just lost a fellow soldier in his truth, brother from Tampa, Daniel Allah, and you know, that's the spirit. The Lord received one of his own back with him, and we'll see that brother soon. So yeah, we're in a constant fight, bro, and we need to fight lawfully, strive lawfully, as it says here, 2 Timothy 2 and 5. And if a man also strive for mastery, yet he is not crowned except he strive lawfully. Except a man strive lawfully, he's not crowned. Okay. So you don't want to be out there fighting with your brothers and shit, you know, being a nigga, you know. You gotta make things right with your brothers. You gotta, you know, scripture says, speak no ill of your neighbor, you know. Scripture speak about a brotherly love, you know, charity, covering a multitude of sins, all these things, man, you know. Because it says in 2 Peter, the 3rd chapter, what manner of persons are ye to be in all holy conversation and godliness, seeing that what all these things should be dissolved. What manner of person are ye to be in all holy conversation and godliness? So what spirit are you coming in? What sacrifice are you throwing up to Yahweh Shemel Shai? You know, is it worthy? Is it acceptable? And these are things that you must examine and look at, you know, in yourself, because that's really all you can I want to say not all you could worry about, but that's all you could really in a sense control, even though the Lord is in control. But you know what I mean. All right, you pray for your brothers and you help them as best you can, but first you got to purify yourself, you know, make sure you're correct. Second Corinthians 13 and 5, it says, examine thyself whether thou be in the faith, prove thy own self, except lest thou be a reprobate, except thou be a reprobate, man. You know, you don't want to be a reprobate, because that means that you a nigga, and the Lord's not coming back for niggas, man. The Lord's going to come back for the elect of Israel, the true righteous brothers, and the few women that are, you know, getting down with the program and getting down with the brotherhood, you know, getting down with the men of the Lord, because those are the only ones that's really gonna be worth a damn in these last days that we're entering into. And may Yahweh Shemel Shai, you know, guide you, sincere women that believe in the faith. May he guide you onto one of the brothers, you know, one of the men of the Lord, you know, one of the believers, or you know, or if you're lucky, one of the 144,000, you know. But yeah, man, you know, I just want to touch on that, man. You know, we're more so in the spirit of a stoic in these last days, man. You know, that's what the spirit should be in, cause we're at war, man. So what's the fucking point of being what's the point of being at war? You ain't in the warrior mindset, man. You ain't in the spirit of you know, of locking in, man. You know, a victory, in the spirit of victory, you know. You don't celebrate before the that's a video right there. You don't celebrate before the victory. The parade don't come until after you've hoisted that trophy, until you won the series, or until you won the final or whatever. So the victory gonna come after the ceremony and all that. The laughing and the joking and the spirit of mirth is gonna come after the victory comes. All right. After the battle is won, or after the war is won. You know, not before. So it says, Sirach 21 and 20, a fool lifted up his voice with laughter, but a wise man doth scarcely smile a little. Learning is unto a wise man as an ornament of gold, and like a bracelet upon his right arm. Okay, so that knowledge and understanding is like gold unto that man. You know, but yeah, that's the point. A fool lifted up his voice with laughter, but a wise man doth scarcely smile a little. So with that, I want to say, call